Wanted to do a little wrist shoulder prep for downward facing dog today. Now, when I lead my yoga therapy and anatomy workshops at Kripalu, I get to see many different people, many different bodies on an ongoing rotation. And one of the things when I teach downward facing dog workshop that people always complain about is that their wrists hurt. And I'm going to show you why. Think about our modern posture, slump asana. Everyone is stuck in the shell of their back and they have not opened up the front body, give room for all the organs and the systems to function properly, and literally be in the middle of themselves, open up potential in the front. They're stuck in the back. And when you're stuck in the back, and then you think you have to get your heels down on the floor, you're going to be stuck in the heels of your hands as well. And all the weight is going to be pouring into those wrists, which are really just these tiny, delicate bones that are really made for articulation and fine motor skills, not to be weight bearing. So if you think about the architecture of a dog pose, which is a 60-degree triangle, 60 degrees at the wrist, 60 degrees at that first fold of the pelvis, and 60-degree at the ankle. It is the archetype of strength, structure, and stability. However, this is what you'll see. So the highest point of my pose is here at the sacrum. And most people will be even worse in the lower back. Also, just having their pose so short, they'll have more weight in their hands. So this is really what you'll see a lot of. They have more weight in their hands than in their legs. And you see my spine is rounding. I have an angle in my shoulder, and all the weight is in my wrist. Look, I can lift my hands up off the floor because all the weight is in my heels. In order to get more weight into the legs, to take the pressure off the arms and the wrists in particularly, well, we can really open up the angle of the pose so you'll be able to see what's happening geometrically. So I'm going to use the chair. So I'm still thinking of a dog pose, but rather than having all the weight in my arms, just elevating the pelvis, so my hands are elevating the hands will change the angle of the pelvis, and I'll be able to move the weight back into my legs. And so this is the same architecture. I've just gone from rounding and weight in the arms to being able to actually lengthen and look out in front of me. Nice thing about the chair, takes the weight off the arms, and then I can really begin to articulate, not rounding the lower back, but finding that first fold and lengthening the torso to open up the front body, to take the angle out of the armpit, opening it in two directions, and really begin to free the breath. An intermediary way of lowering from the chair down to the ground is to put your hands on blocks. Now, these are stable blocks. If you have the foam blocks, please use them at the lowest height, maybe the medium height. But you can see that I can go from here, dog pose, to here. No pain in the wrist. Now, notice I'm not hanging my hands off because this is going to create the same fold and weight transfer into the heels of the hands rather than mitigating and moving and spreading the weight to the four corners of the palm. So I want to press down through the index finger pad, through the thumb pad, and then find the pinky finger pad because everyone dumps into the outer heel of the hand, the pinky side. So you want to play the polarity of the other three to really get out of that. And here you can see it really starts to look like a dog pose. I even have my heels lifted off the floor so I'm not in the heels of my hands. Remember the first one I did, I could lift this part of my hand. Now I can really, you can even try and lift the wrists up off the floor. And then from there, open the armpits and then open the lungs even more. This is so freeing. And you can really check that you're not weighted in the wrists and dumping through the upper body by taking a hand off. And notice I didn't have to move my pelvis out of the way to free an arm. And so if you're in your legs, you should be able to articulate the pose by finding the flip of the triangle, right hand, right foot, to left hand, right foot, left foot. The hand that's on the ground becomes the lung that's pumping because a hand is a lung. So good. Try that out. See if you have less wrist pain. You'll notice when you spontaneously get a bigger, fuller, more beautiful inhale that just pours into the body without effort. Happy Yoga Therapy Thursday.